let's just let it blow us up. Oops, had the darn thing in reverse. I hope nobody saw that. My. It would appear that your skimmer has become the property of another. I wonder who forgot to remove the key. Oh, there we go. Hey there viewers, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Matt, and today we're continuing the playthrough of Space Quest 1 VGA on my 386 SX16. Where we left off last time was on a bit of a cliffhanger. I had just disposed of Authority the first way, which was using our pressurized can of dehydrated water, basically to blow him up. At this point, we are now going to continue, and we're going to look at the alternate way of disposing of Authority, which actually possibly yields us more points, I think it might, but also kills two birds with no stones. So to do this, we've restored, and Authority is still alive here in the cave, and we're just going to do some wanderings. So let's wander up here, and my objective of wandering is to find the spider droid that's actually after us. And the reason for that, if you've seen, a nice slug of water would sure hit the spot right about now. So luckily at this point in the game, we haven't used the dehydrated water, so we can take a drink. That dehydrated water really hit the spot. That should keep you going a bit longer. Okay. So, there's the spider droid. Okay. Kind of just wandered off into nowhere. Nonetheless, I need this dude to be following me. Here he is. Okay. So let's let him get kind of close. Actually, just for fun. Oh, that didn't work as well as I'd hoped. How convenient. You've been blown into handy bite-sized chunks. I guess that Space Piston article wasn't fiction. There's nothing quite like stretching out and enjoying the wide open spaces. What we didn't quite see there is Roger's helmet bounces up and then comes crashing down. Maybe we'll do that again just in a second, just for fun. But yeah, the idea here is we need to lure across. Here's the spider droid. So let's lure him over to the right. Ooh, that's getting mighty close. We might be in trouble here. No, I think we're okay. Okay, let's just let it blow us up. Always loved how that helmet came flying down. Alright, so let's do this properly. Third time's a charm. So, let's head over here, see if we can get the spider droid, and then the idea is we want to lead it into the cave. So there's the droid there. Let's head straight to the right. No dawdling around. Let's head straight into this cave. Just kind of hover here, just make sure it sees us, which it does. This is great fun. So if you go behind the rock, you shiver at the sight of the spider droid entering the cave on its spindly legs. The cold metallic body searches for something to get up close and personal with. This could be interesting. Now hear the double points. Now that was cool. That killed two problems with no stones. So yeah, we do get more points doing it this way. You reach down and take the Authority part into your hand. Some of it oozes to fill the space between your fingers. Same as before. So now let's just do a quick save. And we'll call this one Matthew. Here we are. After Authority. Excellent. Okay, so now that we have the Authority part, and we've also got rid of the spider droid, we can continue with our main little quest here and return to the being in the cave. Now, we don't really need to worry about too much walking back. It might ask and sort of say, oh, I'm thirsty at the moment, you know, I need a drink, but that's fine. We still have the dehydrated water. And the only other thing you really need to worry about is this little bit of spine up here, which is kind of cracking. So just for fun, let's have a look at this. What started out as one time as mere hairline fractures are now clearly cracks in the imperfect vertebral module. So, like always, just for fun, let's save it here. And let's call this one at spine. Oops. Okay, so if you walk across this too many times, you can probably guess what's going to happen. No doubt about it, there's going to be an accident of one kind or another on this shaky piece of calcium-rich matter. You've always got to push things to the limit, don't you? We warned you, but no, you had to do it just one more time. Well, just wait till your father gets home. Alright, so let's not walk across that too many times. Alright, and let's head back to the cave. Now, earlier on, I mentioned in part 1 of the playthrough about an asteroid hitting us if we walk around on the planet here. I had a quick go at doing that earlier between part 1 and 2, but I couldn't get it to work. So if by some way I do get this to work in the future, I'll make sure I tag it along in the intro to one of these other parts. However, right now, a nice slug of water would sure hit the spot right about now. Now, just for fun, like always, we're going to save it. Let's see what happens if we don't actually have a drink of water and we just keep wandering along. So at the moment, nothing really happens. And we're almost at our destination, so maybe I'll just kind of loiter here. The heat of this place can sure dehydrate a person. You'd better get something to drink pretty darn soon. So quick save. That way it'll just save me having to go back so far. Let's just kind of loiter and not have a drink. Maybe go back to this screen over here. Holy antiperspirant, Dehydro Man. The searing heat and dryness of this environment sucks the vital fluids from your body. Your mind begins to drift uncontrollably. Mummy? Is that you? Mummy, how come all the other guys in class get new mops and I don't? Mercifully, for all of us, you die before the hallucinations get too hokey. It won't be long before you look like a scaled down version of the skeletal structure occupying several hectares nearby. Within a few hours, your gaunt corpse will have dried to a crisp, your powdered remains evenly distributed across the parched terrain by a searing gust. Alright, so we can't survive without the water, which makes perfect logical sense. So let's actually have a drink. And in this save game, I haven't actually opened the kit yet, so we'll open that up. And we saw that in the earlier parts. We don't need to read that bit through. And let's continue. Now, if you've played Space Quest 1, VGA before, or you're following a walkthrough, technically you can blow Authority up with the spider droid or using the dehydrated water before you even go down and meet the giant creature. I'll bet you're getting to truly hate this elevator. Nah, that's pretty funny. It kind of doesn't really ruin the game in that respect if you try to do a speed run, but if you're doing it in sequential order, technically you should come down here and actually, you know, meet the creature, work out what you're doing, and so on. Now, I just had a thought. I vaguely remember you could do something with the smell or taste icon with this great monster. It smells great. If you get it, you get it. I don't think you'll be able to get that close. Then again, I don't think you'll want to get that close. Then again, maybe you do. That smells great. That's a classic. But yeah, if you're speed running this, you can technically, you know, blow it up, come down here once, and when it says, you know, bring the Authority part to me, you can just drop it immediately and be on your way. So I'll just make our way back through the cave here. One thing I don't really cover, or at least I haven't covered yet in these playthroughs, is there are variable speed options for playing the game, which you can sort of select from the menu. So again, if you're the sort of person that likes to speed run, you can crank the speed up here. But for me, I kind of enjoy just doing it at real time. And I guess, I don't know, makes it feel more realistic. So this we'll call back at drips, just in case I stuff this up. Okay, wait for the first drip, go to there. So you can have 1, 2, 3, and then go for it. Nope. That I'm melting is kind of funny. I wonder if that came from anywhere. Or it's just something they came up with. Was it Wizard of Oz that had I'm melting? Drop a comment below if it was. I think it was in Wizard of Oz with one of the witches. It was like, I'm melting, or something like that. There we go. Alright, so our little translator's still turned on. So all we need to do is just head straight into the big cave again. Again, the massive holographic image appears before you. So, you have returned. Do you have proof of the destruction of Authority? If so, drop it before me. I just save it here. I wonder what happens if we don't. Let's just loiter around here. It may actually know that we've got the Authority part, because obviously it knows our inventory being the game. So it may actually do nothing. Yeah, looks like it's not going to do much. Let's drop the Authority part and move this along. So I always thought this kind of looked like a carrot. You drop the Authority part to the ground. The vision is silent as the dainty morsel splats to the dry soil. You are startled by a rumbling. Suddenly, an oddly shaped door comes into view and slowly opens. You hear a voice, different this time, beckoning you to step forward. When you step through, the door slides closed with a faint hissing sound. You're alone in a large room full of strange equipment. Please don't be alarmed. We intend no harm. We're a peaceful race. We are cautious, however. Others don't share our way of life. Welcome to Kerona. You are standing in the power generation facility of our underground settlement. All power here is produced by steam. That is unimportant to you, however. We have promised you transportation. It is a skimmer. It hovers approximately 1/2 meter above the travelling surface. This is very important because of Grell. Grell and his like dwell in caves below the sand. If you stand on the surface too long, you chance becoming a rare moist meal for him. The skimmer is programmed to take you to a settlement on the other side of Kerona called Ulence Flats. You can make further travel arrangements there. I am sorry that this is all we can offer. I hope your trip is a safe one. Board the skimmer when you're ready to depart. Good luck, strange one. Alright, so didn't quite get it. I thought maybe we could look at the guy as he travels off. So up here, every few seconds the steam escapes from the vents to let off excess pressure. These glass tubes are really quite intriguing. You've never seen anything remotely like them. Must be some radical new technology. So those of you a bit older might recognise these as vacuum valves, which are actually very old technology. This shaft must be part of the steam generator. If we just do a general look, the large metal cylinders form supports for the upper level. As described, it is a sand skimmer, and it looks like it's skimmed quite a bit of sand in its time. On its panel, which has a small readout, currently dark, and the keyhole with a key in it. These gauges appear to monitor the pressure in the pipes. You think about the thousands of pounds of boiling hot steam in the system and hope the gauges work. And there is nothing visible on the computer screen. So if we click a bit more carefully, a computer console, a bit archaic by the standards of the Arcada, occupies the upper right corner of the room. You notice it has a cartridge reader, much like the one you remember seeing on the Arcada's computer, except this one hasn't been blown to smithereens. It's a bit of a clue there about using the cartridge. So the cartridge is this green thingy. If we click that onto the computer, loading. Whoever shall read this, my name is Dr. Vohol. I'm a scientist with the Star Generator project aboard the Starlab Arcada. We have just successfully completed development and testing of the Star Generator. During this time, I've come to believe that our progress has been monitored by others. I fear that Sarians may have learned of our mission. If my fears prove true, the Star Generator and the people of our universe are in serious jeopardy. The Star Generator is a miraculous device. Used as intended, it will help preserve life for eons to come. Used as a device for evil, it would cause the destruction of millions of lives and enslave all those who oppose the Sarians. Encoded within this cartridge are all the plans and specifications for the construction of the Star Generator. Should any disaster befall the Star Generator project, scientists would be able to create a duplicate of the Star Generator with this information. Please guard it with your life and return it to the Xenon ruling body as quickly as possible. Important note, the Star Generator is capable of self-destruction. This was introduced to the system as a precaution. To activate it, one must enter the code 4437. Okay, so a 5-minute time will begin to count down. Beware, anyone within 5 kilometers of the Star Generator will be in danger once the timer has been initiated. Please be careful and good luck. So we need to remember the 4437 code, as we're obviously probably going to blow the Star Generator up. Now for those of you who have seen Space Quest 2 and the subsequent ones, you'll know that there is some only partial truths in this about Vohol and the Sarians, so I won't put any spoilers out there if you haven't seen the playthroughs or played Space Quest 2 and onwards, but keep that in mind. Now remember, it says to guard the cartridge with your life and return it to the Xenon ruling body. The cartridge is still in the machine, and we can just kind of wander off if we want. You don't get the ideal score for doing that, and it changes the ending slightly because I don't think they thank you as much in the closing ceremony, but nonetheless, we're going to do the right thing, and we're going to take the cartridge. So let's do another quick save, and we'll call this one maybe at Skimmer. All right. So at this point we can get into the skimmer and we can progress. Now every so often, may or may not do it, no it doesn't. He has the skimmer in reverse and it backs into the equipment, which is kind of funny. We might get to see that because I have a funny feeling I'm not going to make it through on the first try. Now this section is an arcade sequence. Would you like to play or skip? If we skip it, it's no problem, we get to Ulence flats. But let's play it, which means we have to kind of dodge around these rocks. Now the big rocks cut you no slack. If you hit one, that's it. Whoops. If you hit a little one, you can see our damage meter there on the right just gets a little bit higher. There's no damage there. Now, probably just for fun, let's just hit this big rock, the next big rock to come up, and we'll just see what happens. It's actually, oh, there we go. Late warning, the big rock cuts you no slack. Classic. So we need to make it through with either not hitting too many small rocks and getting critical damage, and completely avoiding the big rocks. So let's see, I used to think if you had the cursor kind of in the bottom left, gave you more of a chance of him reversing, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. Probably just random chance. There we go. Oops, had the darn thing in reverse. I hope nobody saw that. Okay, let's give this another try. Do it a bit more seriously. Ooh, that didn't go well. Okay, this might take a little bit longer than I thought. I seem to remember this being easier than the Space Quest 1 original, which had no way of skipping. But maybe I don't know, remembering wrong. I always thought it was funny how he revs the skimmer up too. Alright, let's try this again. It's probably some trick to this, i.e., you know, not continuously moving or staying in the middle and then just... Ooh, that was close. I'm not sure if the arrow keys work for this either. Yes, they do. That makes it much easier. Okay, so you can use the arrow keys here instead of the silly clicking the mouse, which takes way longer. Hey, there was no rock there. What was that about? Now, as we get closer and closer to Ulence flats, you'll see it kind of appearing on the horizon in a minute, hopefully. Ooh, this is getting close. Okay, so we can see Ulence flats, there it is on the horizon. Ooh. It is possible to actually make it through with no rock hits, and I have done it before. I think you get some sort of praise for doing that. but I am not going to try that today. That takes too long. Ooh, now we're in trouble. One more hit and we're done. I don't think you can save and restore it here. Ooh, that was close. Maybe you can. I'm not going to try because I'm not taking my fingers off the keyboard. Oh, we're so close now. I think I've just got to get one more kind of screen. Oh, no, we're done. Had you eaten a few less donuts during the mission, you might have cleared that rock. Okay, I know when to admit defeat. You get the idea. You basically just play it through and then you end up in Ulence Flats, and that's great. But this time, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to skip the arcade sequence. Alright, let's do a skip. And this is much nicer. There probably is a few more points in it if you actually do complete it. But in terms of this playthrough, I'm not really too concerned in getting, the exact maximum amount of points. There's plenty of guides on the internet if you want to, go through and play it that way. Man, I must have been so close on that last one. Maybe you could try playing the arcade sequence next time. And here we are at the seedy Ulence Flats. After a truly stone-crushing journey, you have miraculously arrived safely in Ulence Flats. And just in time too, because the Skimmer's power cell has been drained. It will take some time to recharge itself. This place isn't quite what you had expected. It's semi-bleak at best. You sort of see this shady character over here. An odd-looking fellow is lounging against the wall of a nearby building, watching you with a great deal of interest. Say, pal, I couldn't help noticing your skimmer. It's a genuine 86 Pleiades GL. I've been looking everywhere for one of these babies. How'd you like to unload it for the unheard of price of 25 buckazoids? Now, you don't want to deal at this point. Fine, be that way. Because he comes back with a counter offer which includes a jetpack, which we need. So I'm not going to brick the game at this point. If you want to have a go doing that, be my guest, but all that happens basically is you get to the Delta and you can't progress, which is not a lot of fun. Here we have the rocket bar, which is kind of cool. This sign is very unusual. It looks as though the whole building has been constructed around the wreckage of a crashed spaceship. Or maybe just the traffic around here is really awful. Over here you can see the NCC 1701 spacecraft. This appears to be a long-range shuttle, perhaps from a large starship. It looks vaguely familiar somehow. Classic Star Trek. This one's a genuine antique from the 24th and a half century. And this bulbous looking thing. This ship is a real classic. A Wilco Warp Blaster ZX with the original paint job. You've only seen these on old postcards. Awesome. So let's save it here on Ulence, because we're going to have a bit of fun. So we're up to here. Let's call this one at Ulence Flats. Now, fun fact. What happens if we kind of rearrange this and get rid of the S and join the two letters together? Well, you get flat Ulence, or flatulence. I don't know how many people got that from the first playthrough of Space Quest 1, but I kind of don't think I mentioned it. I was hoping someone might sort of pick it up and put it in the comments. But Technically, this is just a play on flatulence or farts. So there we go. All right, now, a couple of things. The sand skimmer has a key in it. At the moment, the key is still in ignition. Unfortunately, this guy has turned up a little early, so I'm just going to restore it because we want to see what happens if we leave the keys in it. So we might as well just head over here to the right. Oh man, this guy keeps turning up when I don't want him to. So let's try that one last time, except this time we'll go into the bar. Alright, so here we have the bar. Now we're going to come and explore this a little bit more later, but let's head back up the stairs and we'll see if our skimmer is still there. My, it would appear that your skimmer has become the property of another. I wonder who forgot to remove the key. Now that's a problem because we need to barter with the shady guy to get a jetpack. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the key out. You remove the skimmer's key from the dash. I don't know if we need to do that if the guy just comes straight back or whether it actually gives us some points. So, okay buddy, you drive a hard bargain. This is my final offer and I'm only making it because I can see you need it pretty bad. I'll make it 30 buckazoids and I'll throw in this swell jetpack. It was previously owned by little old Thark, who only flew it back and forth to Fleabut on Sunday. It works great in zero gravity. You'll love it. It's a deal. So Fleabut's a reference to the planet on in Space Quest 3. Glad we could do business. I'll just take that key. Thank you kindly. In addition, I'd like you to have these coupons, good for discounts and free merchandise from some of our local merchants. As a representative of the Ulence Flats Chamber of Commerce, I hope you enjoy your visit to our friendly little community. Now, in the original Space Quest 1 game, those coupons were physical items in the box, whereas in the remake, they actually added that into kind of the game itself. So now we've got the jetpack, we've got some coupons, and we are ready to do some stuff. So let's head into the bar. At this point, we've got no real direction where to go in the game, so let's sit down and have a drink. You can kind of see here we've kind of got some Blues Brothers guys going on. And in the game, I think there's Blues Brothers, Madonna, and ZZ Top all kind of make a cameo appearance. I think there's some legal threats by one of them too, funnily enough, but that's all in good fun. Alright, so here we have the bar. I think we've just used the hand icon. No, maybe we just talk to the bartender. Or even better, let's use our coupon. Hey kids, this bar coupon is good for 5 buckazoids and a free Kerona Ale. Let's go for it. I would like to redeem this coupon for 5 buckazoids and a free beer. I'll get to you in just a sec. Here's your 5 buckazoids and your free beer. It tastes better than it smells. Thank goodness. Another one would be nice. Bit of a hint, so we get some money here. No? Maybe we just talk to the guy. Yo, how about a refill? Get to you in just a sec. So, what's your beef, Junior? Yep, we'll have another drink. Here you go. Ah yes, that hits the spot. Just one more should do it. Classic. So they're giving us a few prompts here as to we need to continue with this. So we'll grab another drink. As you sip another of the odd brews, you overhear someone at the bar speaking. There I was cruising through sector DD when I spot this blip on the scanner. So I head towards it, you see, and right there in front of me sits the Deltor. It's just sitting there. My heart starts hyper-warping on me. I figure my milliseconds are numbered. All I can think of doing is getting my craft out of there, so I'm reaching for the throttle. All of a sudden there's this incredible flash of light, you see, and just like that, this little planetoid explodes into a ball of fire. I tell you, I've never seen anything like it. I mauled the throttle and got out of there quick, you bet. So it sounds like the Deltor, which is the Sarian ship, has got the star generator up and running, and they're using it to destroy some planets. Now we need to note down the sector there, which is DD in this case, because we need to obviously know where to go to find the Deltor. In the background, fortuitously, you see this guy just got zapped. This machine is called the Slot of Death. It's basically a slot machine, but one combination actually fires this laser beam thing and will incinerate you, which is not that great. So I'm just going to save it here, and we'll just do it as Ulence flats, that's fine. One other thing we can do before we leave the bar, we can keep ordering drinks, and I believe you get drunk enough that you kind of go staggering around, so let's just see what happens there. You feel a strange tingling sensation. The taste of the beer doesn't seem to be bothering you so much now, hee hee. So one more. Oh my, you're starting to feel a bit unstable. Can we do another? Listen, Mac, I shouldn't serve you anymore. You're sledged. You'd better go sleep it off or something before you start making a public display of yourself. Give me another, yo Jack. Here you go. Whoa! You wisely, although somewhat belatedly, decide to heed the bartender's advice. Classic dance moves there. You stagger out the bar after ignoring the bartender's advice. You're so sledged that you don't even notice you're about to become prime prey for the many parasitic life forms in the area. You quickly pass out due to low Keronian ale tolerance. While your body tries to sleep it off, you lose every possession you own. Soon your body is stripped for parts. Obviously you don't make it through the night. So, not a good idea to drink too much, both in real life and in the game. Alright, so let's walk away at the bar at this point. We know it's Sector DD. Now, to get out of here we need a ship. To get a ship, we're going to need money. So we're going to play the Slot of Death machine. Now, for those of you who remember the early slot machine days, they weren't computerized, they were basically just cogs and levers and all mechanical. And one way apparently, and I've never tried this, you could thwart them was by putting a magnet which would hold certain mechanical parts in position, allowing the machine to pay out. So the cool trick in this one compared to Space Quest 1, the original, is we can cheat the machine with a magnet. Now we don't have any chance of actually getting shot by the laser beam, which, we could do it, but it just gives you a pretty standard thing that you just saw before with the other dude playing the machine, so we're not going to bother. So we just bet the absolute maximum, and then we let them roll. Now you can actually play this through like Space Quest 1, the original, and win it without the magnet, but it is painful. Now, I think the highest paying one is either the rocket ship or the dinner plate. Or is it a galaxy? I'm not really sure. Looks like a dinner plate to me. So 30 bucks for the dinner plate. I know the cherry is like the least valuable. I think the rocket might be more than 30 bucks. So I think the objective here is to get over 200. Rings a bell. So let's just see. Oh man, we keep getting the dinner plate. Or the galaxy. Opinion only lets you bet 3 buckazoids. Go much quicker if you can bet more. I guess that's to stop you inherently kind of cheating it too much, because you could just keep restoring it and betting the maximum like 100 buckazoids or something and finishing it in like 2 or 3 goes. Come on, let's do something else besides the dinner plate. There we go, rocket ship. What does that get us? Now we're talking 60 buckazoids for the rocket ship. I reckon this is going to max us out. 268. Oh, no, not quite. Maybe it's 300 maxes us out. Come on, rocket ship. Cherry. Cherry sucks. I think you win like 15 from the cherry, yeah. Alright. This should get us 30 more. There we go. You step back nervously as the overheated slot machine begins to sputter and smoke. Wow, I guess you overheated the poor old thing. The slots of death machine seems to have met its match. It will no longer be a deadly temptation for the unsuspecting spacefarers such as yourself. Alright, so that's about all there is to do in the bar, but let's just have a look around before we leave. This appears to have blown in from Santa Cruz. Oh, sorry, this guy appears to have blown in from Santa Cruz. You must be getting dizzy. You're seeing triple. This character looks like an economy-sized version of your Uncle Buck's toupee. Cute little purple guys, eh? They sure can put away the brew. This character kinda reminds you of a cute, fluffy-like kitten you had when you were a kid, except that he weighs about 400 kilos and has a foot-long razor-sharp claws and a bad attitude. A fine example of his species, whatever that is. There are a couple of non-galactic looking humanoids cranking out some unfamiliar sounding tunes. They seem interested solely in the music they're performing. Alright. So now let's probably give this another save. Let's keep going over the top of that one because there's no need to backtrack. And just for fun, let's just head back into the bar and see if the band's changed. Just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So there we go, there's Madonna, I believe. On stage, a strangely attired woman performs her act, if that's what you want to call it. You haven't had a girlfriend for a long time, more like forever, but even that's not enough to make her attractive. Ooh, that's a little harsh. Alright, so let's head out again. And we'll head in one more time and we'll see if we can find ZZ Top. That sounds like ZZ Top. Okay. On stage are 2 heavily bearded gents and a relatively clean-shaven drummer. They're one of the hottest bands in the quadrant. Alright, so now we've seen the whole combo of the musical artists. We now need to get a ship and get out of here. So, if you've watched my Space Quest 1 original playthrough, this is kind of the same thing. You have the same results here, but nonetheless, it's fun to do it again, kind of in VGA glory. Except there's one less, oh, actually there's one less ship here, funnily enough. Howdy Bucko, can I interest you in one of the finest little spaceships in the galaxy? You look like a man of discerning taste. This one, for instance, is just your style, that is. This is quite a unique little unit. Never been flown over Mark III. It was owned by a little old lady from Glanzerdrom. You can fly it to believe it. Or you have to fly it to believe it. And she'll only be yours for 99 buckazoids. One time offer only, sorry. Talk to me, friend. Man, Tiny's hard to replicate. He talks so much salesman gibberish. So how about it, partner? Can I interest you in anything here? Can we do business or what? I'm at your service. Talk to me, chief. So just like in the original, there are some fun things to do here. So let's give this one a bit of a crack. Sorry, you can only fly it when you buy it. Oh, by the way, there are no refunds either. Company policy. Oh, let's buy it anyway. I'll tell you, I think you made a wise decision. She's a beauty, the keys are in her. If you have any problems, don't hesitate to come back and tell us about them. So let's come board this very strangely pointed ship. It's been a heck of a pleasure doing business with you. Well, good luck and come again. You proudly climb into your new used spacecraft. There is definitely something unique about it. You turn the key excitedly. Drat, where did Mum and Dad go wrong? You be the judge. Well, geez, guy, it seems it's developed some minor malfunction since we acquired it. We did have a small micrometeoroid shower the other day. Maybe that was it. Yeah, that was probably it. Much as I'd like to, I can't refund your money. Company policy. It's out of my hands. However, I can give you 70 buckazoids credit on any other ship in our fine line of used spacecraft. Look around, see what you like. So yeah, he doesn't even give you all your money back, really. So let's just restore. And there's one other ship we can kind of have a bit of fun with. I'll just skip that one. Tiny goes on and on and on. Now just take a gander at these beauties, sport. If you see one you like, just give a hoot. I'll stand right over here. No pressure, absolutely none. Yeah, right. Don't let appearances fool you. This baby may be a relic, I mean a classic, but she's as dependable as the day we got her. And just think, you'll be the only one in the quadrant with one. I guarantee it. She's a beaut, isn't she? This little baby can do a spin around the planet in just under an hour. Look at the lines in that bodywork. They just don't make them like this anymore. You know what I mean? And she's a real bargain at 185 buckazoids. Alright, so this is another dud buy, as you can see, because it's so ancient. But let's buy it anyway. Alright. This could get interesting. Darn the luck. You've crashed in the dunes and ended your life. The various inhabitants of the Keronian desert are now feasting on your remains. Guess that wasn't such a hot purchase. Alright, so that leaves us with only one option left. And that is this somewhat 1940s vintage riveted aluminium looking, even with sort of the paint scheme at the front here, ship. Very reminiscent of sort of a World War II bombing plane from America. Well, there's a man with a good eye. This is the keenest little scrambler in the hemisphere. Top of the line, handles like a charm. Perfect for cruising the asteroid fields. And she's got all the thrust a guy could need, I tell ya. She's an outright steal at 214 buckazoids. So this is the one we actually need to buy. So we can now give him some cash. Alright. So, pretty funny if we climb in it. It's been a heck of a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and by the way, you're going to need a droid to help fly that thing. Well, good luck, come again. So we can't actually fly it by ourselves. Seated in the cruiser, you notice there are no controls within reach, just a button marked load. Tiny must have been serious when he said you would need a droid to fly this thing. And since you are currently droidless, there seems to be nothing else to do but climb out. So this is very much a play on Star Wars, like the X-Wing fighters for the Rebels. And you have like R2-D2 that helps Luke fly it. Okay, just looking at the time, it looks like we've been playing for about 50 minutes or so, so I think this is time to break it off for part 2. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel to grow. And also, if you've enjoyed this series, have a look at all my other Space Quest playthroughs and other games I've also got on the channel. And if this is the sort of thing for you, also consider giving it a subscribe. Thanks again so much for watching. In part 3, we're going to have a look at the different droids we can buy and have a little bit of fun with that and finish up the game by defeating the Sarians. Catch you on the next one. See you later.